Another highly requested film breakdown today. We're going to be looking over Nebraska wide receiver commit Jacory Barney coming out of Miami, Florida. We'll talk about the things we like, the things we dislike, and most importantly, things we're looking forward to seeing for the next 4 years as Nebraska Cornhusker. So real quick, if you like the content, please hit the like button on this video along with subscribing. We are the only Nebraska YouTube channel who's producing film reactions and film breakdowns. So if you like what you see, please hit the subscribe button. But let's watch the video, everybody. All right, let's start Jacory Barney's film. So real quick, if you're not familiar with our formatting, we start off with purely his highlights, the best of his best from his senior year of high school, and then we get into a rep-by-rep film basis, and that's where we start to see the things that he needs to work on. So we'll start off with his huddle. And again, this is the first time I've seen this as well, so we're watching this together. He did return kicks for his high school in Miami. Nice cut in open field. Oh, did it again. Took his ankles. Yep, speed kills. He does the rest. I mean, we're talking about a guy who runs a legit 4.4 speed at that wide receiver spot. Double coverage. Just goes up and get it. My goodness. Give that another watch here. Really good ball by the quarterback, I should add. But high points to that football. Sees the lurking safety and says, hey, I need to go up and get it. Wow. Punt return as well. Again, really nice cut in open field. You see this common theme with Matt Rule recruited wide receivers is that they have a lot, really, really good hand-eye coordination, and they make moves on their feet when they have the ball in their hands. I mean, any one of these dudes that Matt Rule signed is dangerous. Another play where the catch itself isn't very impressive, but he makes a move. Yep, right near that goal line. Speed, man. Mismatch. Another good job to high point that football. Basically, was an underthrown ball. We'll go back to it. Quarterback just slightly underthrew it. He read it very well, slowed down, high pointed it, breaks one tackle, and he's off to the races. Hey, you're not going to catch me, man. I'm a 4-star recruit. You're not going to catch me. Really impressive so far. One thing I always like to see when we're looking at wide receivers is how advanced is their route tree. A lot of times, not very advanced. We saw that from Davon Hall and Zach McMorris. They're running about 1 or 2 routes. Already what I've seen from Jacory Barney is we're seeing 2 routes, a go route and we're seeing a screen. So let's see how progressive it is. Because a lot of time, oh, wow. Nice stop and go. Basically, let's see it again. I just baited him on a fake curl route. Don't see that too much at the high school level. Just a double move. Worked well. Easy 6. A lot of punt return highlights. I know a lot of Nebraska fans will like to see that because we have not had an elite punt returner since DeMornay Personnel. And that one, again, just finds an open hole. Really good blocking by the special teams crew. Just walks in, basically. My gosh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with that? Look at this. This is a terrible, terrible football. He's running a post. He threw it. He's as a quarterback, you're supposed to throw it to his right-hand side. He threw it to his left. He has to completely switch angles of his body, hand-eye coordination like we just talked about, and come down with that football somehow. That was a beautiful play by Jacory Barney. Lots of wide receivers would have just given up an interception because of that. Horrific pass. Good wide receiver play makes up for it. Yeah, nice little deep crosser. Nothing to write home about. Okay, so they put him. They're basically said, "Hey, we have an athlete. We're going to put him at that wildcat spot and let him do the rest." Again, really nice juke. Wish I could have saw the entire play to progression, but first off, I mean, that was horrendous defense. How do you let him behind you as a safety? You already gave up your number 1 role, but other than that, again, nice play. Really good arm strength. I'm liking what I see from this quarterback minus that one clip. Beautiful fade. Yes. Already what I'm seeing from Jacory Barney. I mean, great hands and a great job high pointing that football once again to go up and get it, man. He's not the tallest receiver, Only listed about 6 foot tall, but he has an ability to go up and make a 50-50 ball not a 50-50 ball. Nice job to lay out for the catch, another go route. So already, look at that. A deep corner. I'm already seeing a lot more advanced abilities to route run rather than what I saw in Davon Hall and Isaac McMorris. I mean, we've seen him run the entire route tree at this point. We've seen him run slants, go routes, corners, posts, crossers, screens. That impressive. A lot of times you do not see this in high school football. The ability, coaches usually just don't put their wide receivers. Another beautiful pass. Interrupted me. But usually coaches don't give their wide receivers that many routes to run. We're seeing a huge plethora of advanced route running. Excuse me, my words are fumbling myself. My goodness. That might have been a junior year clip. Why was he wearing number 13? Okay, he's playing quarterback. These are quarterback highlights. I was confused for a second. So these last couple clips were him playing quarterback. I had no idea. I had no idea Jacory Barney played quarterback because I know he's number 2. But we've seen some successful Huskers play quarterback in high school do very well in the Big Ten. Most notably, as of recent, Cam Taylor-Britt. Again, we keep talking about just really shifty with the ball in his hands. We see it on the kick returns, see it on the punt returns. Yeah, really good burst. All right, guys, that's his huddle. Really solid. Wish it was longer. The stats kind of indicate the exact same thing. Now let's get into his rep-by-rep film. All right, we watched his best of his best, his highlights from his senior year. Now let's get into his rep-by-rep film. This was taken from one of his games this fall. Let's start it off. And it should be noted he is number 2, so watch out for him there. Right here at the bottom of the screen. Decent block. You'd like to see him show a little more effort in that department. Yeah, nice little out in zone coverage. Nothing much there. And one thing I will say about Jacory Barney, and then by the way, this is from his junior year, not his senior year. I will say this about Jacory Barney. He needs to show that ability to block. That is huge for Matt Rule's offense. That's huge for Marcus Satterfield. We already saw Davon Hall and Isaac McMorris. They have that ability to block. They had a couple really big highlights in their film of them basically pancaking a DB. So Matt Rule loves that in his wide receivers. We need to see Jacory Barney progress in that department. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Nice little screen pass. Same deal there. Getting great vision downfield. Cut it back inside. And make something out of nothing. That was a nice gain. Another play where they just basically put him on a screen pass and let him do the rest. Is he going to take this all the way, man? That was very well close. And real quick, if the video is going any slower, it's because I put it in 0.75 just so we can basically take in what's happening. But nice play here by the quarterback to roll out. They basically just have him on a check down screen. Again, great vision downfield to see these guys cut it back in. Blocking downfield could have been a lot better, but yeah, speed kills, dude. Really nice. Same deal there. High pointed that football on a slant route. A nice job fighting for some extra yards. He was down at that 35 and basically fought for an extra 4. Yeah, we'll rewatch that. Most of these have been completions. I think what I took from this was I basically just picked the ones where he caught the football. But this was one of those reps where you have him motioning on just an out here from the backfield. And you can see that basically the defensive presence, they double-teamed him there on the flat. But nothing there. Not a huge con to take away from that. They like to put him on a lot of motions watching this guy's film already. Just coming back on a curl. And at that point, the quarterback just didn't see him, but you got to make a move as a wide receiver. When your quarterback tries to evade and get outside the pocket, you make a move, go towards the sideline. Right there, you just didn't really do anything until the very end, until the play was over, man. Got to make a move. Again, nice little screen pass over him. You're seeing a lot of the same thing, though. Screen pass after screen pass. It wasn't really till senior year, like we just watched, that they tried to give him a lot more routes to run. I think this is his last clip. Same deal there, just a comeback. So not too much. And I know, like a lot of my other videos have been a lot longer, but that's because they had a lot more film. Jacory Barney, one of his cons, and we'll talk about it in a little bit, was that there wasn't a lot of film on him. But without further ado, let's get to my final takes. All right, that was Jacory Barney. So let's start off with the pros. Really, really like his route tree. We saw him go on basically every single route. Really great footwork as well. Go routes, corner, post, screen, slants, you name it. He was going on it. He had a couple double moves on his highlights. So a lot of times when you're evaluating these high school wide receivers, they only run about 2 or 3 routes because as a coach, you don't need to put them on very many more. You have a talented guy, do what works. But he already has experience running complex routes and doing them to a high level, so that's a pro. Second thing, things you can't teach, speed and velocity. He already checks that box for you, man. This guy, again, who runs a legit 4.4 speed. You saw it, so that's huge. Number 3, very, very experienced returning kicks and returning punts. He did it all for his high school, and you saw that in his highlights as well. He has great open field vision, makes that right cut, and gets to the end zone. And the last thing basically goes along what I just said. He has a lot of moves in his bag as a ball carrier. He'll make you miss a couple times. So we can do a lot of fun things with him in our offense. Put him on some jet sweeps. Put him on screen passes. Let him do the rest. So that's what I really like from Jacory Barney. As for things I don't like, you just saw, I just mentioned it. Lack of production, lack of highlights. There wasn't too much film I could grab off of him because there wasn't too much of him playing wide receiver. That's not exactly his fault. He played a lot of quarterback for his high school. He played running back. He played everything for him, man. So that's not a knock on him, but there wasn't too much film. Because of that, his senior highlights, his senior stats in general kind of lacked because they put him at quarterback. So that's number 1. Number 2, obviously, blocking, effort in the blocking game. Yes, that needs to improve. That's not unexpected, however. Lots of guys struggle with that. He is no different. I'm not worried about that at all. And number 3, this isn't really specific to Jacory Barney. It's just simply the fact that I hope he adjusts well to Lincoln, Nebraska. We see a lot of times with these Miami guys, they come in here, especially wide receivers, for whatever reason. They come in here, they're not used to Nebraska, and they transfer out. Hopefully, Jacory Barney gets accustomed to it quick because we're trying to build a Miami pipeline. There's so many talented guys who come from here, they just cannot get accustomed to Lincoln. So, overall, I liked what I saw. I didn't mention the fact he has great hands, dude. He was high-pointing a couple footballs on his film. So, really good. How would I stack him up against the rest of the class? Do I think he's a 4-star? No. He is listed to as a 4-star on a couple sites. I would list him as a high 3-star. The talent's there, man. The talent is there. The production is just not there for him to be a 4-star. So that's not a knock on him, man. Really talented guy, and I think he's going to be very successful here. Now, as I would rate him to the rest of the class, I basically have a big board of my rankings of wide receivers that we signed. Number 1 is Isaiah Morris. I think he's the most proven. I think he has the best stats and really solid career at Bellevue West. Number 2, I'll give it to Jacory Barney. And number 3, I'll give it to Davon Hall. Again, all these guys are good. Davon Hall's last. That basically is an indictment on how good of a class it is because Davon Hall is a stud, man. So really good wide receiver class for Nebraska. Let me know down below who you want to see next from this film breakdown series. Just let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, please subscribe if you don't want to miss out on anything more. We'll have a lot more recruiting videos coming up, off-season videos. So again, if you want to stay in touch with Nebraska football, please hit the subscribe button. It really helps me out. But as always, go Big Red, Go Met Rule. See you next one, everybody.